Jersey Shore business owners begin the unthinkable and heartbreaking task of surveying the damage to their livelihoods for the second time in a year following a massive fire along the Seaside Park boardwalk there. It's Friday, September 13th. Welcome to Lunch Break. I'm Wendy Bounds. Joining me now on the phone from Seaside Heights is Wall Street Journal Greater New York reporter Josh Dawsey. Josh, thanks so much for being here. Almost unthinkable that this has happened to these businesses less than a year after Superstorm Sandy swept through and just sort of wiped many of them out. Tell us where things stand with the fire now. Is it under control?
The fire is about 95% under control, according to Governor Christie, who just briefed local businesses and the media on the fire. They're still working to contain the other 5%, along with some smoldering hot pockets of the fire. But the fire, for all intents and purposes, is under control.
How many blocks do you know as of now, Josh? How far has this spread along that boardwalk area?
It's about 4 blocks, and about 30 different businesses were either completely destroyed or damaged significantly.
And we know that it started around a sort of ice cream shop and was sort of fueled in part by the winds that day, but also, you know, ironically in a very bad way because the boardwalk had been being rebuilt. There was all this new lumber out there. Let's talk a little bit about the rebuilding process. Governor Christie saying when he saw this that he felt basically like he was going to throw up, but assuring people, we're looking at a quote right there, he's assuring people there, as you can see, that they are going to help them rebuild, that it's just unthinkable, but they've got the time and the resources there to do so. You've been talking with some of these small business owners, one of them from an arcade. Josh, describe what he told you about the damage to his place.
Yeah, most of his machines were damaged, along with lots of other business owners on the boardwalk. There's a lot of resolve, though, I'm hearing from these people. Most of these folks have even said to me, you know, we learned how to rebuild last year. We're going to do it again. We're going to rebuild. In fact, I've talked to like 9 different business owners, I think, and every one of them says they're going to rebuild. So it seems that these people are really preparing to move forward. I mean, a lot of them have already started thinking about how to rebuild, and the fire is still raging down on the boardwalk.
The arcade owner you spoke to, not just damaged by the flames, this was Funtown Park Arcade, and he's 41 years old, this owner, but it also, I assume that when these sprinklers and hoses come on to try and contain the fire, that also does damage. So I must imagine that some of the equipment, the games inside of his establishment must also be ruined in some cases. Josh, is that true?
Well, it is, but a lot of the owners have not been able to go back into their businesses yet because the fire's still going, so they are only estimating what they've heard from the firefighters. But the owner that I spoke with, he thinks everything inside of his building is damaged. Every machine, every game is damaged.
Very quickly, before we let you go, we have not heard reports of any deaths. Have there been injuries as far as you know, Josh?
There have been several minor injuries, but none are serious. That's one thing that leaders said they were very thankful for, is that no one has been, hurt terribly in fighting this fire.
All right, that is actually indeed something to be thankful for. Josh Dawsey will continue to follow this with you online on WSJ.com and in the paper with Greater New York. Thanks, Josh.